Hi everyone, my name is Adrian and I'm here with Jaden and we are the Agricultural Safety VR team. To tell you a little bit about our sponsors are the University of Nebraska Medical Center's College of Nursing, which is a world-class health science center with 5 campuses across Nebraska. This project specifically was supported by a grant from Central States Center for Agricultural Safety and Health. To talk a little bit about our stakeholders, we have Sue Schulke, Tess McKinney, and Aaron Yoder, who helped us throughout the project, giving us feedback as well as technical support. And as for our development team, my name is Adrian Pilkington, and I was the multi-team squad lead and product manager.
And I am Jaden Goder. I am a development manager for the team and a junior in software engineering.
And then we also had 3 other developers, Jacob Fox, Jeremiah Cantu, and Brian Thomas. And then as far as the senior design staff that helped us throughout the project, Melanie and Jeff were a huge help in making the project possible and helping the team be as successful as we were. And then now James is going to talk a little bit about our problem.
Yep. So the whole point of the game was to promote safety in farming environments. So as some may know, tractors cause up to 130 deaths annually, which is almost half of all farm worker related deaths. And our game tries to promote safety in those environments by letting the user drive a tractor around this open world farm, attempting to not roll the tractor over and injure themselves. So we made this agricultural safety game in VR and Unity that simulates hazards and prevention techniques related to tractors. And then if a player identifies one of these hazards and uses preventative measures to mitigate it, they are not injured. So the goal is that the game will be used in ag safety curriculum, taken to conferences and shown to nurses and students and professionals alike. So, and then for our solution to this, we have our game that I mentioned briefly earlier. So it is an open world farm, which means that you can essentially drive anywhere or do anything in the game, but you choose an objective on the main menu to complete in your time in the game. You get 15 minutes. So there are 2 main objective types. There's just normal objectives, such as fixing a pivot or herding a cow. And then there's a free roam mode if the person playing the game wants essentially a gameplay experience that's a little bit less stressful, but has some of the same environment. So, and then the game includes a tractor, obviously, that you can drive around with realistic driving physics that the player can drive around the farm to complete these objectives. It's involved with all the different objectives, and the physics we had to hand build for the majority of it. So that was an interesting thing to figure out. And then the player is scored on their ability to complete objectives in a time-sensitive manner, all while driving safely. So they're graded at the end of their gameplay. And then this is all built with Unity 3D and deployed on Oculus Quests, which have their own hardware inside the headset. So while playing the game, the user has a little clipboard that they can pull out from behind their head that has a map on it also to guide them through the objectives. And you get this giant red beam in the sky to show you where the objective is, but it doesn't tell you how to get there. So there's always a safe path to it that you can like reference on the map with to plan out how to get there, or you can take a shortcut to save time and likely traverse some more difficult terrain that encourages the user to likely roll over and get injured. So there's a broken pivot objective they have to fix. You can feed cows or bring them some food, and then you can herd cows, or you can clear a fallen tree in the road, or put out a burning scarecrow. So in the images, you can see the burning scarecrow objective, this lake environment in the map, and the main menu. And then there's also the free roam mode that I alluded to, which lets the player drive around freely, collecting little like tractor coins, or you can like race a cow, some silly things to unlock a gold-plated tractor and see the secret credits room. So there's just some fun things that we put in if the user was stressed out by a very time-sensitive objective as well, but also teaching them the core goals of the game.
So to talk a little bit about the value and highlights from the game, as of just this week, we were able to publish the game on the SideQuest store, and it has, I think, around 600 views now, and I think about 70 downloads, and that number is just growing. It's only been out on the SideQuest store for about 2 days now. And then throughout this whole experience, the team has learned a bunch about developing engaging educational material for students, for people of all ages actually, and working with a variety of different skill levels and people that are knowledgeable or not knowledgeable with VR. So the game is going to be taken to agricultural conferences across the Midwest, as well as shown to nurses. And they're hoping in the future to continue working on this game as they get funding. So with that, we wanted to leave some time for any questions that people might have, whether that be technical or other. If there's no questions, thank you all for coming to our presentation. Jaden, do you have anything to add?
I don't think so.
Awesome, thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
What challenges did you face during development?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things, I think there's two main challenges. One was optimizing an open world game for Oculus Quest, and the other was figuring out tractor physics. So tractor physics are very complicated, just vehicle physics in general. So we actually ended up purchasing a vehicle physics asset and then heavily modifying it to be more like a tractor. And so it took a lot of research and a lot of our development time, and it's redoing things and iterating upon. And then the Oculus Quest hardware is not as strong as like a typical VR setup with a full like desktop build and whatnot. So we had to highly optimize the environment and game to be able to run on this hardware. So that was pretty tricky.
Awesome.
Well, if there's no other questions, thank you all for coming to our presentation.
Well done. Great job.